Hey Capricorn, glad you're here. All right, so we're gonna get started with your reading. I'm gonna go ahead and pull a theme card for you. So we'll get a vibe check here. Okay. Is this the card? Yeah. All right, so Spirit wants you to have this card. And again, this reading applies for the next 4 weeks or month from when you're seeing this. It says rosemary on it. It says remembrance, loyalty, faithfulness. Is this upright? Okay, yeah, this one's upright. Interesting. Okay, so these two. Okay, I want you to have these two cards as well. Okay, so we have a card here that says Earth. It says peace and grounding, and one that says Sun. Okay, it says healing energy, happiness, comfort. These two are in reverse, so Earth and the Sun are in reverse for you, but Rosemary is upright. So I feel like this is the main part of the spread. Okay. So it's interesting because I did try to start your reading beforehand, and it's funny because the card I actually pulled for you was Earth, which just came up again. So that's definitely part of Earth in reverse as part of your reading for this next month. It feels like, yeah, this loyalty and faithfulness from this Rosemary card is coming through as a question around what are you loyal to? Like, what are you almost like too steadfast in? There's an emphasis of this card of almost like it's over extended is a word, but overemphasized. It's like there's almost this idea of being loyal to a fault. Okay. Yeah, okay, so that's coming through. It feels like with the first round of this reading I tried to do with the Earth in Reverse card, there was something around an inflexibility and a rigidity to your energy right now, and I don't get the sense you're doing this on purpose, but it feels like there's something here that feels almost like a little bit of a block for you. And yeah, okay, so the sun in reverse, okay, like it's almost like it's blocking your happiness, it's blocking your joy, or it's blocking some sort of end goal or end state that you have in mind, like what the sun would represent in the upright, and even within like the tarot spread is, it's one of the best cards in the deck, so it usually represents things like coming into your joy, your happiness. I can sometimes, depending on what it's like equated, sitting next to or the context, it can come through as like wish fulfillment. It just feels like there's something here that you're a little too rigid about and loyal to, that's actually blocking you from coming into this sun energy fully. Okay, and this could be about any dimension of your life, any domain of your life. I am catching something in the material realm for someone, so that's coming through pretty strongly from Spirit. I'm seeing like pentacles in my mind's eye right now, which does relate in a lot of ways to Capricorn energy. For someone, it's about a home space, okay? Or like home life, personal life, home space. Yeah, the only phrase that keeps coming through is loyal to a fault. Loyal to a fault. And that's not referring to, let me be clear, that energy is coming through not around like connection or relationships or cheating. That's definitely not my energy here, and definitely nothing that we're going to be talking about in this in this reading. But I am talking about like, what are you, when I talk about loyalty, or as it's coming through from Spirit, is like, what are you like almost holding on to or hanging on to out of feeling like you need to or have to, or some sense of obligation. I don't know if it's obligation. That's not quite the word. It's just like something maybe you haven't thought about that maybe needs a reframing, something that needs to be seen from a different light. There it is, from the sun. Okay. Yeah, and I'm catching that as almost like with this Earth card, as if you were a satellite looking at the Earth. They're showing me that image right now of you being a satellite, like looking at the Earth, and there's something around like you needing a different perspective, or to reframe your perspective on something so you can see this a little bit clearly of like what you're it's kind of like grandfathered into loyalty into something and Spirit wants to like bring your attention to. Okay, I don't think they have anything else for the theme. So that is your theme for this reading. If that feels like it resonates and vibes with you, that's great. Then just stay put. We're going to go right to it. If it doesn't for any reason, feel free to check out any of my other readings. There are other messages that may be for you during this time. So definitely feel free to check that out. All right. But Capricorn, we're going to go ahead and get right into the cards. I will see you in a moment. Okay. All right, Capricorn. So let's get straight into it here. Yeah, I'm not catching this like loyalty as necessarily having been a bad thing. Like, it doesn't feel like it's bad. It just feels like it needs your attention of something that like maybe is like pre-programmed, or again something maybe you just haven't thought about, and you've just been doing because, well, quite literally haven't thought about it. It's just been like, it's kind of like one of those things where like you just come into this life, or like when you're younger, you're taught a certain way and you just didn't think about it. Like you didn't question why you were doing it. And so like, I don't feel like probably up to this moment in time, it was necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like right now it's not serving you, whatever this is. Okay. So we're going to get into quickly, like what's going well for you over the next 4 weeks. Spirit, what's going well for Capricorn over the next 4 weeks? Okay, so we have the Five of Swords in reverse. Okay. Let me see. Queen of Swords upright. Four of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Five of Wands upright. Is that it, Spirit? Okay. We have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so they're laying out a bit of a story here. So just give me a second here. I want to really tune into this energy. But the first thing that's like happening, or that I'm picking up just already from looking at this, is I am noticing we have 2 5s here, so that's big. So there's some sort of like spirits trying to get your attention through repetition. This could be through angel numbers, but it feels like repeating. Oh, okay, yeah, repeating events or repeating scenarios or things that you're just thinking like, oh, these are just synchronicities, or oh, that's a coincidence, and actually it's spirit trying to get your attention on something, which is really interesting. Sorry, I don't know why it's bothering me, but I just want to reframe this a bit. Again, literally reframing. Okay. I keep feeling like I need to mess with this camera. Okay. So reframing. Yeah. Okay. So that's part of the reframing, is like understanding that those synchronicities and coincidences and things that you're seeing actually aren't, in fact, it's spirit trying to get your attention and trying to communicate with you. So if you're seeing repeating fives or any sort of repeating numbers, or again, things that just feel like you're like, oh, that's interesting, or deja vu moments, I'm hearing that one as well. That's spirit trying to tell you, okay, you've done this before. There's something you're repeating that we want to get you out of the habit of. So the Five of Swords, okay. So the Five of Swords, typically I read this as my ancestor card, because in the traditional version of this card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you would see a person who's standing with like all of these swords, the 5 swords, and you would see 2 others in the background who are like off in the distance. And so I relate it to like like ancestral, as in like there are different generations over time who were passed these swords. And essentially it's the cycles you have to break, okay? It's the things you have to work through. It's the things that you no longer need to carry, that were passed on, that you need to like heal within this lifetime and things like that. I'm talking about this so much, but it just feels like with this coming out in reverse, I think Spirit is saying over this next kind of 4 weeks, you have an opportunity to kind of get out of a cycle or a pattern or a way of seeing things, or something that you're doing subconsciously that I just don't think, again, what are you loyal to? The loyalty bit, again, it feels like it's been a loyalty within your family. And I was getting that sense even when we were looking at the starting out with just the theme, because I really equate the herb rosemary. It's very ancestral. Like it has a lot of ancestral ties, because it just has a huge like history in terms of the materia medica and like herbs and herbal lore and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm just getting the sense, again, this is something that's been passed down through generations and something that hasn't been looked at before, but I'm getting the sense that it is like, again, kind of blocking you from getting to this full sun, happiness, the healing. Okay, healing is definitely needed as part of it with the healing energy here, but it's blocking you from getting to that full like happiness, comfort, and joy that you're looking for and needing, because it's something that, again, I feel like you inherited as part of it. Yeah, that's why I keep saying it. It just, that's the energy. It's like something that was passed down from your caregivers, your parents, and to you now. And I think that's what the Queen of Swords is asking you to do, is to actually question why. This is the Queens I equate to the internal landscape within tarot. It's also the highest form of tarot in my matrifocal version of reading the cards. And so I really think this is asking you to like, just like she's doing, like go inside and ask the question why. Why are you doing something the way you're doing it? And why are you, why does it exist? How does this still like affect you? How does this what am I looking for, Spirit? There's a specific way I need to phrase this. Hold on. There's a way I need to phrase this. They want me to share with you. 1 second. Oh, okay. The question is, how is this serving you? Okay. How is this serving you? And that's the question they want you to ask and really start to look at. And again, it's coming through as a sword, because there's something here. I feel like it's just gonna resonate with you better for some reason, of it being like a question you ask yourself. Maybe you journal about this. I'm getting journaling through, or write about it, but there's something that needs to be either spoken, thought about, communicated, written. There's something around needing to like really tease this out for yourself. Is this in reverse? Hold on. It's upright and reverse. Okay, so this card is both ways with the Four of Cups. Yeah, okay, so the four, oh, I see it. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so this is coming through, actually. I don't always read it this way. I usually read the Four of Cups as a card of grief. However, in this reading, it's coming through as a card of contemplation. Yes, it's coming through as contemplation. So Spirit really wants you to contemplate. There's something specific that you need to look at that I think is creating conflict. That's what the Five of Wands speaks to. It speaks to conflict. It's creating some sort of conflict for you. And Spirit wants you to ask, how is this serving you? And to really, really like meditate or let that kind of percolate or permeate is what I'm hearing into your energetic field, to understand what is yours. Like I'm hearing the words like what is mine and what is not. So what is maybe ancestral or something from caregivers, or something that's a part of society, or even I'm catching the sun in reverse here. I sometimes relate this to the patriarchy because the sun is a masculine energy. So in reverse, it comes through as like toxic masculinity, like the patriarchy. Okay, so I'm getting a sense this could have been like linked into a system of oppression. And so I think Spirit really wants to ask, like, how is this serving you to like carry this anymore, and to carry this,
Yeah, energy. And I want to be, like I said, very, very clear here that this reading is definitely related to things that are above board. That is a mature way of, if this is around a relationship or connection type, a mature way of relating, connecting, and communicating with others you're in connection with. This is not saying anything that would be shameful or that you should not be doing. I was talking about cheating when I started this. I don't know why I need to say that, but I just need to be very clear that's not in this spread. Okay, that's not the energy from spirit, and they will never condone that type of behavior. Okay. Like they're not going to encourage you to do that, because that has some really it's one of the worst karmic loads you can take on. Okay, so speaking of that, with that stated, Spirit, do you want to keep going? Because I really want to know what this is. What is the situation that Capricorn's in right now, where there's a bit of conflict? It feels like it's internal conflict. It may be manifesting somewhat outside, but it feels like there's this sort of back and forth needing to happen, that Spirit needs you to reframe something and really like understand why you're doing something the way you are, and how it's serving you, and why you're loyal to it, in terms of this pattern or ways of operating that you are. Okay, this deck. Okay. Give me 1 second. They want me to cut this deck. Yeah, and they're showing me the Earth card in reverse here. It's keeping you like off balance. It's keeping you ungrounded. There's something where it's not allowing you like the peace and sort of like, I'm hearing the word stillness that you would need to get to that kind of sun energy. It's just, like I said, there's something about this that feels, I don't know, is combative the word? A little bit, but it's like energetically combative. Okay. Can we go into it, Spirit? Do you want one more shuffle? All right, one more shuffle. Hold on. There's a very particular way they want these cards to come out. All right, ready? Oh yeah, there's okay, yeah. All right, let's get this in your view. There's a very particular way they want to frame this out to you. So we're getting the Four of Swords in reverse. Yeah, again, there's something again. It's like not allowing you, the peace, the restfulness, the feeling grounded, the feeling like relaxed, the feeling of being it's not smooth. That's the only way, that's another way I can describe it. It's not smooth. Okay. Hold on, there's more that needs to be seen here. The Star, yeah, totally. Okay. Make sure you can see all that. Okay. All right, the Star's coming in reverse. This feels tricky. This feels really tricky. What exactly is keeping you? Yeah. And the Star in reverse. It just feels like there's some of your energy. I'm really caught by the fact that this person's pouring out of two of these, because they're the water bearer, because this relates to Aquarius. This is an Aquarius card, but there's something around like your energy it's like it's not going fully where it needs to go, and almost like part of it is being like, I don't want to say wasted, but it's not going where it needs to go, because I think there's something really draining about this pattern or this cycle. Again, it's keeping you in this sort of like, I don't know if it's turbulent, but there's a conflict, whether it's internal or, like I said, external to you. There's some sort of, which is usually both. If it's external to you, it's definitely happening internally. But it feels like there's this sort of like back and forth, or something that's like kind of draining your energy a bit. And What is this, Spirit? This, yeah, because it's definitely not healing. Like, this is not coming through as a healing card. Is this something from the past? Okay, this is something from the past. Okay. Okay, because the star can relate to the future. So coming in reverse, I don't know why that was coming through. I was like, is this about the future? I like have a lot of side conversations with Spirit while I do these readings. And so, I was asking Spirit and inquiring, like, is this about like the future? And it is related to your future and how you move forward. However, it's in reverse because it's relating to your past. We didn't get the Six of Cups yet, or at least it hasn't come out yet, which is the card really of the past, because there's something here that needs to be pointed out around the way this is draining your energy and keeping you kind of like in this not so smooth. Yeah, it's a bit of restless. It feels a bit like an itchy energy. Like it's just kind of like I can't quite get settled. You're almost like, I want to take a Benadryl for this because it's just this energy is just kind of moving around. Like, okay. Page of Cups. Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, this is coming through as something from your past, but something that's like youthful. There's something very youthful about this. There's something, is it immature? Okay, yeah, okay. Okay, so Spirit is asking you to upgrade some part of yourself here. Okay. Okay, there's an upgrade that's needed. Okay, the way you interact with others or in connection with others and the way you approach, I'm also hearing for someone the way you approach your work or what you're working on or what you're building, because the Three of Pentacles really speaks to that kind of like building with others, or just it speaks to like infrastructure and building and creation, but you can see it's also with others. So okay, okay, I see. So this is definitely coming through. Like I said, I kind of opened this reading a little bit with talking about like for someone this is around like on the material plane. It definitely feels like that. So this is coming through as very material plane and in connection to others. It just feels like there's a way you're operating that is not, it just needs an update. I almost feel like there's a systems update. That's what it is. That's why, okay, the star is coming out, because this also Aquarius in that archetype relates to technology. So I was getting this like vibe. I was like, what? Something feels really robotic about this energy I can't quite place. And I think that's it. It's almost like a Spirit is asking you to do a systems upgrade, okay? And I think there's another layer here, something you're doing robotically or automatically, or again, it's just kind of baked into your system programming, if we're going to use that metaphor here. Okay, and I think Spirit's asking you to like look at this deeply about like, why is this like code per se baked in to your system when instead, you know, that came potentially from like, again, past generations, and Spirit really wants you to look at the ways you're like, is it relating with others or building with them? Okay, yeah. Okay, your connection with others. This could be across any domain of connection. This could be romantic. It could be platonic, familial, work relationships. So you apply it where it belongs. But I'm just getting the sense here. Spirit really wants you to make a systems update. Okay, so that's definitely... All right, that's that's it. And that makes a lot of sense now that we're like doing the last degrees here, because this is coming up really strongly now. As Pluto is making its final kind of, you know, it's at the like final degrees, the anaretic degrees of your sign Capricorn. So it feels like Spirit really wants to make sure you get this like kind of upgrade in before that moment passes. That's why this next 4 weeks feels important, because there's still going to be a bit of time where things are shifting and kind of like integrating is what I'm hearing. And so I think Spirit wants to make sure you caught the lesson is what Spirit is trying to communicate of like what this time was about. Okay, so Spirit, can we talk about what the lesson is? Okay, which deck do you want? Okay, all right, I gotta switch decks. Give me one moment here. So what exactly is the lesson? Because I am seeing this. Like, okay, so Capricorn is now aware that there needs to be a system update to the ways they're in connection, in relation with others, particularly in the material plane. Okay, what else do you need them to see? All right, we're cutting the deck. that's what they needed you to see. This is the reframe that's needed. Okay. One more shuffle. Ooh. Okay, so we got salt. I've never seen this card before. It says salt, protection, banishing negativity. Is this in reverse? It's in reverse. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm hearing it's salt in the wound. Salt in the wound. Okay. Okay, so I have a really specific message coming in. Just hear spirit out here. Okay. So for someone here, there's this energy coming through with this card of like okay. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it, okay? But there's this energy coming through of like I told you so. Of almost like I'm seeing you, Capricorn. I'm saying this to someone. I don't know why that's coming through with this card really strongly. But it's almost like, again, salt in the wound. It's almost like you may be pointing something out to someone else that needs an update or a change or, yeah. Oh my gosh, I totally see this. Okay, so it's like you go into these connections kind of pointing out what needs to be fixed or changed. I'm seeing this person like with the hammer now and like trying to like fix something that these two have built. You see this? Like, it's like these two probably built this and you're coming in and being like, well, I got to fix this. I'm going to fix this. Or like, these are the changes that need to be made. And it's almost like this, like energy of like, I told you so, or this is like, yeah, this is such an interesting reading. Holy moly. And it's almost like, you know, you've communicated or you know, you've expressed your thoughts on this. And then it's almost like if something doesn't go right or it doesn't like pan out the way that like these two wanted, if again, this is just a metaphor here, then again, you come in with the I told you so, and it's almost like rubbing salt in the wound. And I feel like that energy of needing to like almost, I don't know if it's not about being right. I don't think that's where this is coming from. It's almost like this digging in again and just being like, I mean, partially it is about partially being right, of course, with that phrase, but I don't think that's your intention. I honestly think what this is coming through. Okay, yeah, here's the mirror. I'm going to show you the mirror, okay? Just, again, hear this message out because this is what it's coming through as. It's almost like, you know, there has been conflict maybe in your connections because there may even be hesitation from others to maybe even like work with you potentially, but that's because it's coming from this energy of like, you always having the answer of how this needs to be done, or again, it's almost like you're kind of like doubling into it of like, not only did this, you know, these two tried something and it didn't work out, it's almost like you went down further and you were like, well, I told you so, and you should have done it this way, or, you know, and it's almost like maybe giving them particular looks of like, you should have listened to me or something like that. And it's just coming through as this very like, it's coming through as a mirror. Okay, it's coming through as a mirror. First of all, it is a pattern. This does feel like something that was like passed on to you, and maybe this is the way your caregivers or parents were to you, of like doubling down. It's like it's essentially the kind of phrase or the framing of like when they're down, or like when it rains it pours, or when they're down, you know, they get kicked again or something like that. There's some sort of like there's a common phrase for that, right? Like kick them while they're down. It's almost like you come in with that energy of like kick them while they're down. And I feel like this is happening on a couple different levels. I feel like it's happening in your personal life. And I feel like it's being projected into somewhere, some other domain. So for instance, here's the example that's coming through. It's like in your personal life, you're going through something really rough. I'm seeing Page of Cups in reverse here. And then you could come into work and you like double down into this energy of like, again, kick them while they're down, because that's what you're experiencing in your personal world. Okay. So like you kind of project that at work. Again, this is an example. And then I'm seeing the mirror here of honestly, Spirit just wanting you to come into a systems update on this, like wanting you to heal, star upright. This is actually ancestral and a lineage thing that you inherited. So it feels like it came from somewhere younger, like somewhere in your youth or childhood where this was actually the pattern you saw played out. And maybe this is what actually happened to you from your caregivers. Like you were down and they would just like, I told you so, and this is why you should have done it this way. And this, you know, and yeah, it just feels like, Spirit, can we get another card here? Because this is so interesting. And I feel like to protect yourself, it is almost like you adopted this way of operating. Of like, yeah, here's another card. Yeah, energy, leadership, creativity. Exactly, in reverse. It's like, this almost became your like leadership style. This is the way you kind of, and you don't even have to be like a manager or anything like, I'm not talking about that, although for someone it might be. It almost feels like that's the way you started like approaching all of the situations in your life and how you like lead within your life in general, is just with this sort of like, this is the way you protect yourself, is by making sure you have the kind of solution and you have the correct, like, yeah, it's just coming through as a solution, but it almost like I said, kick them while they're down. That's what this is. And it feels like what's happening is that energy is reverberating across multiple domains of your life, and it's keeping you stuck from going towards the sun energy, which is healing. I think there's a message, there is a message here around your sort of leadership style in general, and the ways you like, this leadership card is also coming through as very like kind of King of Wands in reverse energy of like the ways you present yourself in the world. And I think Spirit really has a message for you here with that. Okay, let's get into that part, Spirit. Is it this deck? Okay. What is the recommendation? How can Capricorn kind of heal this? Because it's reverberating across multiple parts of your life. And like this is actually coming from a younger part of you that needs healing. So you can actually come into sort of the Four of Swords upright, a more peaceful, balanced way of operating and with others in connection. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. What do you have to say, Spirit? What's the advice here? Okay, one moment. They're having me cut the deck. I knew this card was coming out. I don't know. The Three of Wands is, they want you to go to look at, again, this card is coming through as like a new perspective, literally a reframe. There's a frame here, right? Where it's framing this like horizon. There's a new like perspective. Do you see that? It's almost like a camera lens. Like it's like, obviously it doesn't look like that, but it's almost like needing, again, a new perspective on this and a shift into the way you view these situations and how you approach that in your connections, your relationships, your workplace, I'm hearing. But whatever it is, there's something new that's needed here. Okay, what else, Spirit? Four of Wands in reverse. So this is coming out both ways. Okay, yeah, they're really doubling down into this energy of like what you're doing right now is not successful. Four of Wands in reverse. It is not, and this is also a highly spiritual card. Yeah, I feel like Spirit's been trying to get your attention of the ways that you get to this like finish line. This, I almost feel like whatever it is that you're working on or building with others or in collaboration or connection with others, it's like tied into your sun energy. I'm seeing the same sort of like circle energy here. It's coming through as the same. And I think you're like, it has to be sort of this way, done this way. And Spirit, I think, is trying to say like this way of collaborating isn't working. It's not going to work, or this way of being in connection or relating isn't going to work. Because you may, yeah, sure, you may get the prize, right? You may get the wreath of success here. But the thing is, if you didn't bring others along with you, did it really matter in the end? Yeah, if you weren't doing it together, did it really matter in the end? Okay, if everybody wasn't on board and wasn't, aligned, and I don't even know if it's that, but if there wasn't this sense of like community, collaboration, of cooperation, does it even matter? Yeah, okay. So I think Spirit wants to direct you to a new way to find success without needing to bring this pattern into your dynamics, okay, and into your leadership style. I mean, Look, I'm going to say this because I'm delivering this with no judgment, and Spirit definitely isn't, but I can speak from experience. Like, I've been here before. I can tell you all about these experiences. Like, I actually I have been like a manager. I was a manager. I was a senior manager of like a global team at one point in my life. And, you know, this was something I had to like learn pretty quickly, of like, you know, if we're getting to the end goal and my team members aren't feeling like we did this together or weren't part of that teamwork, then did we even accomplish what we set out to do? And the answer always came back to be no, not really. Yeah, sure, we got it delivered, but on a deeper level, again, like the Page of Cups in reverse, Page of Cups upright, Page of Cups in reverse is saying, like, the fulfillment wasn't there. The emotional fulfillment wasn't there. And I think Spirit is trying to tell you there's a way that you can get here without, yeah, and my timer's going off right now. I'm seeing like it's flashing because it's telling me there's a way you can do this without needing to almost like isolate those around you with that energy. Okay. And this is all coming from, and let's be very clear, there's no blame here whatsoever. And like, again, I have literally had to heal through this. That's why I can channel this message. That's why there's no judgment for me. But Spirit wants you to know, like, this is something you inherited. So you haven't done anything wrong. They just want to bring this to your attention. Okay. So that's why the systems update is needed. So do you have more to say on that, Spirit? Okay. Different deck. Hold on. This one? Wow, this felt like a pretty deep one to get into here. Okay, so what do you have to say about this, Spirit? Give me one moment. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea because this is a lot of energy. Spirit wants to bring you into a higher level of maturity around the ways you're like engaging in your connections and your dynamics. And I think it comes from healing this thing from the past that you went through. Again, that sort of like, I told you so energy, which wasn't yours to begin with. Like, that's not actually your voice. I'm hearing that this is not actually your voice. That's actually the voice of someone from your past. Yeah, I knew we were going to get this card. The Five of Pentacles. That's exactly it. It's an energy of being isolated, of being out in the cold, of like, that's exactly it. Like, you have felt this way. And this is actually the energy you're holding. And so it's just projecting in your outside world. Like, again, you've done nothing wrong here. It's not that you're a bad person. There's nothing you've done. It's just, I think Spirit is trying to point out what you need to heal here. And what needs to be healed is this origination point from your youth, from your childhood, that like where your parents, caregivers, siblings, teachers, mentors, someone isolated you. And kind of like, again, when you were already feeling low about something or feeling like, maybe it wasn't as successful as you wanted it to be, there was this energy of like, again, kick them while they're down, and they kind of dug in deeper. And so I feel like you've been chasing after this success. Again, Four of Wands in reverse here. You've been chasing after the success for yourself because it almost came with this energy of like, you know, it's almost like a laser focus on the success without really, you know, kind of considering the other kind of voices in the room or others who may have something to say about this and or have feelings on this. And I think what really this comes down to is you like not feeling your own feelings and kind of not giving yourself the love you need. Because you know what, Capricorn, you are brilliant. You are a brilliant sign. You are brilliant, and you are just industrious, and you are hardworking, and you are just incredible. And I don't know if you heard all that. Yeah, I think it's trying to confirm that, like, you are amazing, Spirit, or Capricorn. That's what Spirit is trying to tell you. And you know, no matter what, if you need to, again, you're hearing the backup truck here, if you need to like take a different route, back up a little bit and take a different route to get there, like that's going to serve you well, because you will always be successful. The thing about Capricorn is you are always successful. I feel like this Four of Wands is like your birthright. I have not seen a Capricorn in my entire life not get what they go after. They get what they go after. I mean, I have like such respect for it. And I literally, my brother is a Capricorn. Like, I have like Capricorn friends. Like, I actually have quite a few I have my own Capricorn placements. I have like about 4 minor placements in Capricorn, but I vibe with Capricorn, and like I'm getting the sense here. Yeah, 7 of Pentacles. Whatever you build needs to be built with everybody in mind, and built from this. That's what the Aquarius energy is coming through. There it is. Okay, so that's what this whole transit is about, from Pluto in Capricorn into Aquarius for you, is about focus, coming back into focus on the collective, on the group, on how to like really be a leader and be in this energy of community within everything that you do, okay? And I feel like that was lost when you were isolated when you were young, as being different, or there's something like not right with you, or you didn't do it right, or however ways that you were like almost chastised about something that you had done, or just how you were existing, or just being a kid, quite frankly. So yeah, that's it. That's totally it. So Spirit is calling for some healing here, and for you to come into the energy of group dynamics, and wants you to update and upgrade it. And yeah, here we go. 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups here. And the Fool wants you to come into a new beginning with this dynamic and this way of being in community and in relationship. And again, this doesn't apply just in the workspace. This is also within your, could be romantic, platonic, your just personal connections as well. But there's a need here for you to really like grieve. Here's the grieving part of this. 5 of Cups, like really look at the ways that your own cups here were kind of spilled when you were younger. Heal this and come into kind of the upright. 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles, I'm hearing both 2 of Cups, 2 of Pentacles energy, which is in connection with others, and it is balanced. And that's the new beginning that Spirit wants to give you with this move from Pluto in your sign into Aquarius. All right, so that is your reading for the next 4 weeks. Perfect. Well, we're not going to have an extended because I think you got the message here, but yeah, I think this is a call for a systems update for you. And I feel like if you kind of listen to your intuition in terms of this and sort of what the call is from Spirit, I think you're going to see things shift for you in a pretty like, yeah, big way in some sense of seeing, I'm almost seeing like water flow now through a channel. Okay, it'll like smooth out. Like we see this 5 of Wands then coming into reverse, and instead of all the conflict, you actually come into cooperation. That's the word, cooperation. All right, so Capricorn, I hope this was helpful for you in understanding why some of this like conflict is happening right now in your different zones. But I so appreciate you being here. I hope that this reading resonated with you, and I hope you found it to be helpful. I do have some personal readings going on right now at a discount for the community, actually, as we're going through some difficult and tough times right now. So if you'd like to check those out, I will have that link in the description box below. I do have 45 to 60 minute readings. They're pre-recorded readings for you. It's actually for you. I do the reading for you, but you just watch it on video once I've recorded it for you. And I have those at a discount right now for $95. If you'd like something shorter, I did just recently open up a 20 to 25 minute offering as well. That's at half that price. So I think it's like $45 or something. But anyway, it's like $45, $47. But you can check it out on my website. But if you'd like to have your own personal reading on anything, feel free to check that out. But Capricorn, I'm wishing you a lot of luck and love as you move through this healing over the next 4 weeks here. And again, it could be that this energy applies for you. Like maybe you come into this reading with already in this conflict, or something will come up over the next 4 weeks. So depending on where you are on this timeline, but I hope you can refer back to this reading and kind of start to move through some of the systems updates and the updates that are needed here. But yeah, I'm so rooting you on, and I will see you at our next reading. Bye for now.